alive with history, rich with diversity, and overflowing with natural resources, the Mississippi Delta is a unique American treasure, made golden by the people who call this land home.
I think the Mississippi Delta is probably, if you're talking about an indigenously generated culture that just insinuated its way throughout American life, I think it's probably the culturally richest region in the whole United States.
The Mississippi Delta has a vein of creativity flowing through it that is as wide and deep as the Mississippi River itself, producing world-renowned writers, everyone's favorite talking frog, and a unique style of music that has influenced the world.
It's produced some wonderful writers of its own. Shelby Foote, who was both a historian and a novelist, to a poet like William Alexander Percy, or the great novelist Walker Percy.
Mississippi Delta has been the home of over 250 internationally known blues artists who, through the years, have shaped the form of music all over the world.
Jim Henson, who created the Muppets, was actually born in the Mississippi Delta. Jim had told many family members that he got his inspiration for Kermit the Frog from the many hours that he spent playing along the banks of Deer Creek.
Geographically, the Delta is more accurately a floodplain for the Mississippi and Yazoo rivers. The land is flat and the soil is very rich, the perfect combination for agriculture. Right in the heart of the Delta on the Mississippi River is the city of Greenville, Mississippi. Greenville is one of the largest cities in the state of Mississippi and is a vital transportation link for the region as both a river port and highway hub. U.S. Highway 82 runs through Greenville, connecting it to Interstate 55 and other key 4-lane highways. For the past 70 years, Highway 82 near Greenville in Lake Village, Arkansas, has also been a major river crossing over the Mississippi River. The Highway 82 Steel Truss Bridge was built in 1940 and at the time was a shining example of modern bridge technology. The bridge replaced a slow ferry boat that transported cars and people back and forth between Arkansas and Mississippi, a trip that often took 30 minutes in each direction. As decades rolled by, the Highway 82 bridge remained a mainstay river crossing between Arkansas and Mississippi. During that same time, however, the size of trucks and other vehicles were getting larger, and the overall volume of vehicles crossing the old bridge was increasing. With this evolution of traffic, the once modern bridge couldn't keep up with the modern traffic standards. Slowly, delays and disruption to traffic trying to cross the bridge became a regular occurrence.
Now it's just obsolete. We need more lanes of traffic to cross the Mississippi at this area, and those lanes need to be wider with emergency breakdown lanes and shoulders for motorists.
The barge traffic in the river below doesn't have it any easier. Today it's common to see huge barge tows with 35 barges spanning 1,500 feet in length, navigating their way up and down the Mississippi River near Greenville. However, barges were nowhere near this size when the bridge was designed and built, so barges were not a factor when choosing a location for the 1940 bridge. As the years went by, barges grew in size, and the bigger the barges grew, the more obvious it became that the river piers of the 1940 bridge were located in a dangerous spot for barges.
The main span has a narrow horizontal clearance between the piers, and it sits just downstream from a very sharp bend in the Mississippi River. So river traffic navigating around that bend and coming downstream has a very difficult time getting their barge tows back in alignment with the navigation span, especially during high water events.
Between 1972 and 2007, the original U.S. Highway 82 bridge had been hit by barge tows nearly 50 times, easily more than any other bridge on the Mississippi River during that period. As concerns for traffic on the bridge and under the bridge were increasing, it was clear the 1940 bridge, which had served the region faithfully for 70 years, needed to be replaced. The new bridge will have to safely and efficiently handle the movement of people and freight above and be far less hazardous to barges in the river below. This is the story of how the Mississippi Department of Transportation, in conjunction with the Arkansas State Highways and Transportation Department and the Federal Highway Administration, designed and built the second crossing, the Mississippi Delta's new landmark bridge.